Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal channel. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal take on Crystal Palace this Wednesday in the Premier League, March day 34. And Mikel Arteta has got a couple of decisions to make, especially in midfield, where Thomas Partey won't be featuring in the PSG game. Does he start in this one? It didn't start over the weekend. So does he come back into the starting 11? What about at right back? Julian Timber has been so solid for us throughout the campaign, but Ben White is back, and boy oh boy, he had a very good game against Ipswich. So do we continue with Ben White? Do we continue with Julian Timber? And are we going to see a couple of changes that might reflect what Arsenal are going to do against Paris Saint-Germain? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Let me know in the comment box below. Do we rotate? Do we rest players? Do we go full power against Crystal Palace? What would you love to see? I want to have your thoughts in the comment box below and your predictions as well. So I'll start off with my prediction because I really love going into my prediction first. This is a game that really for me means nothing, and it should mean nothing for all the fans, but we need to continue winning. We need to stay on that winning streak. It's really doing us a lot of good in terms of momentum and in terms of confidence as well. After beating Real Madrid and then thumping Ipswich, we should be able to get a win against Crystal Palace. They're coming at the Emirates Stadium. It shouldn't be a difficult one. So I'm going to go Arsenal 3, Crystal Palace 1. I mean, I don't know, but Arsenal just in form these days. It's very difficult for me to discard off my team. We are in some goal-scoring form. Trossard getting a brace. Martinelli in some goal-scoring form as well. Ethan Henry can come in and score. Saka is back. So I've got to give Arsenal a win. And I believe it's a game that's going to allow us to score about 3 goals. I think Trossard will back on the score sheet. Mikel Merino back on the score sheet. And I'm going to go with Bukayo Saka. Saka should have scored a couple against Ipswich. He had so many good chances, like easy chances, sitters, but he didn't bury any of them. But I think he will be able to get back onto the score sheet this midweek. Now, for Mikel Arteta, it's going to be bigger than just winning. It's going to be about preparing for PSG. This is the last game that we have as we wait for PSG. We don't have a game over the weekend. So that means that as we take on Crystal Palace, Mikel has one game to try out all the combinations that he wants to use against PSG. At right back, is it Ben White? Is it Julian Timber? In midfield, does Lewis Kelly get his chance to start ahead of Thomas Partey in this game? We are going to see all of that. But for me, in my starting 11, this would what I would do. Definitely David Raya starts. Crystal Palace is a team that have chance creation, right? They're a team that will create some chances. Eberechi Eze, Adam Watson, and of course, they've got players that can finish off those chances in the likes of Ismail Issa and Jean-Philippe Mateta. I like that. Listen, I love Mateta. He's he's one of those weird strikers in the world, but he's into goal scoring form, especially ever since Oliver Glasner took over Crystal Palace. He's a deadly player up top. So David Raya in goal. He's gonna have to deal with some of the threat that will be thrown about by Crystal Palace, but he should be able to deal with that. He's a top goalkeeper. At right back, that's where Mikel Arteta is going to have to make a couple of decisions. Now, Ben White, his combination with Odegaard and Saka is something to think about as we get into the PSG game. Yes, Arsenal are so good defensively, and Arsenal are a team that you can't break down when they're in shape. But then we've got to think about scoring goals. We've got to think about hurting PSG. And in this Crystal Palace game, what Mikel Arteta needs to think about is, do I continue with that combination, White, Odegaard, and Saka, or do I continue with Julian Timber, Odegaard, and Saka? The difference between Timber and White is clear as day. Timber is so good in terms of attacking. He's gonna make these overlapping runs over Saka, and Saka is going to have a lot of freedom, a lot of joy cutting inside, knowing he's got backup from Ben White. Julian Timber on the other side is so, I would say, solid defensively. Like, if you think about Mbappe and you think about Vinicius and you think about all this Madrid attack, they had nothing, absolutely nothing on Julian Timber. So in this game, why Mikel Arteta would play Ben White, obviously, is to give Julian Timber a bit of rest time. But why I would love to see Julian Timber play in this game is this. If we are going to play PSG and Crystal Palace is our last training session or our last chance to test out the players, and it is 5 days away, I would play Ben White. I would play Julian Timber. I'm sorry, Ben White had a very good game against Ipswich. What a performance. But for me, I'm going with Julian Timber. Left back, Lewis Kelly. I would play Lewis Kelly. We'll talk about the midfield, but Lewis Kelly, and then at centre back, Kivio and Saliba. Now, in midfield, Mikel has a decision to make against Palace as well. Does he play the reliable Thomas Partey, or does he actually try out something that will allow him explore options for the PSG game? Now, that is where you could have Lewis Kelly as part of the midfield alongside Declan Rice and maybe Martin Odegaard. Or, once again, he could do what he did against Ipswich over the weekend. Merino part of the midfield, Declan Rice in that anchor role, and then Odegaard in the creative space, just like we saw against Ipswich. And that would be my starting 11 really in terms of midfield. That would be my starting 3 in midfield. I wouldn't call on to Skelly into midfield, leave Skelly at left back, play Merino, play Rice, and play Odegaard in that midfield. Up top, Saka on the right, Trossard in the middle, and then Gabriel Martinelli on the left-hand side. Now, for me, if you ask me, rotation versus resting players, I think there are 2 or 3 players that I would love to rest. Rice, one of them, he's going to be important. Without Partey, he's going to be so important. His energy is going to be needed in this game. His ball-winning ability is going to be needed against PSG. His intelligence and his ability to effect games, especially big games, is going to be needed in huge quantities. But it's a game that I would say Mikel just has to, work on, I would say maybe his formation versus PSG. I wouldn't dig into much. I wouldn't dig much into it, right? Now PSG have Crystal Palace have a couple of attacking options, good attacking options, but I don't think I would be threatened by Crystal Palace. Not really, right? Eze, Watson, Sarr, Mateta, they can do whatever they can, but I think this Arsenal team are able to neutralize them. So the importance of this Crystal Palace game is to keep winning, keep our winning run, remain unbeaten. If we don't win, remain unbeaten. Keep that confidence, keep that morale in the team very, very high, and keep the spirits very, very high as well. It's going to be very important, and just keep the team active. It's as simple as that, right? Even if we don't win, no Arsenal fan is going to feel angry. Even if we don't win this game, it's not a big deal. Hit the button, subscribe to the channel, and speak to you right in the next one.